Hello and welcome to another V's Cards video. My name is mvcuic. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And in this video I'm going to show you how to craft this fun slider card. It was inspired by Lisa Curcio, but I've made the measurements even easier. So come join me and let's get started on crafting this card. Now I'm doing a similar one, but this one's going to be a portrait sized one. It's exactly the same, but the orientation is different, so the stamping direction will be different. First up, I'm creating my own designer series paper by stamping using stamps, which are easy to work with and don't require any colouring. And just with a few colours and a few stamps, I can craft myself a background for the card front very easily. If you click on the link in the description, you'll find out which of all the products I'm using to craft this card. Now I've done two versions, one with slightly different colours to the other, so I'll have both links available for you, and the link will take you directly to your shopping cart where you can chop and change anything as required. I've even decorated the envelope as well. I've even simplified Lisa Curcio's design, so the card base is basically a half of an A4 card. So the cardstock is first scored and then cut in half, and with that I'm going to chop a slight bit of the card and then I'm going to score the same measurement on the other side. Focus just on the 1 inch part of it. Now rather than just using a 1/4 inch, I wanted to use in between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. I've got a needle pointing to where I want to cut, which is 1 to 3/8 of an inch right there. One of the things I find really handy with the Stampin' Trimmer is the lines that go down the trimmer in 1/4 inch partitions, so that you can easily check your measurements and keep everything aligned when you are scoring or cutting along the trimmer. There's also 3 points where there are complete measurements at the top, the centre and the bottom of the trimmer. Let's take a closer look at the 1 inch measurement from 1/8 to 16ths, and that red line there is showing exactly where I'm going to score and cut at. I find that a 1/4 of an inch is too thin for the tear and tape, but that 1/2 inch is too thick, so going in between is perfect for some projects. For me anyway. So now I'm finishing the score line, which will fold into the card and make it slightly thinner in width than a normal average sized portrait card. So if that doesn't bother you and you've already got some cards scored and cut to size, then this is the perfect measurement for you. My stamping is quite abstract and has no direction. There's no up or down part of it, so it doesn't really worry me where I'd adhere it to the card front, but I am going to cut a slit, leaving approximately 1 inch from the top and the bottom and the side of the card front. Then I'm going to line up and weave a thick strip of basic white cardstock through that slit, because it's going to become part of the mechanism for my card, and I'm going to adhere that to the strip that's going on the inside with the stamped sentiment. I'm now working with the basic white cardstock, which is going to be the insert that pulls out. I want to add a little bit of decoration but keep it simple at the same time so that there's room to write a message in the card. So just a little bit at the top and then the sentiment underneath. I'll have scrap paper behind the cardstock so that I can partly stamp the rose image all around the top so that you don't see a whole rose image each time. I'm now lining up the mechanism at the bottom of the card slit and making sure that it's sort of butt against the score line but not over. If the card insert is too wide, then the mechanism isn't going to work. You will really struggle to slide the card up and down. A good tip from Lisa Curcio is to keep your Stampin' Craft silicone mat underneath the strip so don't get adhesive all over the inside of the card. Before you seal the card closed, you'll need to punch or use a die cut to cut a semicircle at the top so it's easier for the recipient to pull up at the tab. Now it's time to seal the card closed by adding some adhesive on that tab. You're going to do the outside of it so that it's hidden away and you don't see the seam. Finally, we're adding dimensionals to that tab, and we're going to use quite a few because the bee itself is fairly heavy with some layers. We want to make sure that it doesn't run away or fly away. Not sure how clear the camera is, but I am trying to align the bee right in the centre of that slit. So sorry to be out of the camera. I basically trim the white cardstock so that it's hidden away behind the bee's wing. Not seen in the camera, I've punched a hole at the top centre of the white card insert which pulls out, and then I'm going to add some ribbon to it so that it's easier for the recipient to pull up and down. The Crinkled ribbon is so thin I decided to double it and then thread it through the hole. It's such a fun card, and the recipient, I'm sure, will have so much fun to continually slide it up and down. Here's a comparison of the two bee cards where I've used slightly different colours. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you were inspired and you'll try something new, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy crafting.